Hello Capricorn. Great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Capricorn.
Feeling for you guys is it seems almost as if social life, your environment, and everything that's happening around you is a major distraction from either education, from work, or from like the really important things that you're supposed to do. Okay, so I feel like a lot of invitations coming your way. First of all, that might be, I don't know, taking you away from practical everyday responsibilities that you need to take care of. So be a little bit more cautious. I feel like just, you're feeling a little bit more scattered. So be cautious about prioritizing and trying to get things done, because I feel like there's temptation, there's fun, excitement, and things like that happening all around you, and it's making it a little bit difficult for you to concentrate, okay? What else I'm also feeling is, it seems to me as if your environment itself, like this is the home environment where you are living, okay? Where you are living, where you are staying, and things like that. I don't know if people are moving in or out, if there has been some type of instability within your immediate family unit. So even if you don't live close to them, you can still feel, the effects of it. And they might come to you for advice. They might call on you to vent and things like that. What I'm also sensing is I do feel almost like health issues. This is coming through either from your end or also from the people that you're dealing with, okay, in your immediate environment. Or I'm sensing more like people you either live with or people that you consider to be family members as well. Aside from that, there's a lot of, like new social circles, relationships that can be made on the social front, and especially professionally as well. I just feel like you have a lot of fun and excitement and opportunities in your environment for this month, and it's making it really difficult for you to try to concentrate and to try to, get things done in a timely manner. Just be very careful about the tendency to either procrastinate or, leave it for another day, because I do feel you're going to be quite stressed out, especially during crunch time. I feel crunch time happening towards like the 8th. To be careful about that, because yeah, already responsibilities are piling up, mainly because I feel like you might have neglected some responsibilities. For others, I feel like a little bit of a house move as well. So I feel like a lot of activities are happening in your immediate vicinity, either like a lot of construction being done around the areas that you live, city maintenance type of work, such as like, the sewage is backed up or something outside your house, and then, city workers have to come by and do some drilling. So you're up, you're like affected by the noise. I see noise pollution, light pollution, and overall something is happening in your environment where I feel like a lot of activities are coming in. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of energy. So I feel like you're not able to get things done that you'd hope. There's a lot of distraction, there's a lot of like last minute meetups and things like that. Okay, so be careful about this. By the 8th, if you're not careful with this, but which is possibly going to a library in order to get work done, or going to a coffee shop, going to a different environment. I do feel some instability within the home environment that's preventing you from being able to concentrate. So let's go into your reading. Okay, so one of the first thing that is corroborating this message, and this was kind of like the energy I was picking up earlier too. This is the card about not being able to sleep, okay? So sleepless nights, that is racked by a lot of anxiety, a lot of worries. Very often this card, in combination with the Five of Cups, deals with a situation where we feel like we did something and we are a little bit embarrassed as to how the event happened, okay? So for some of you, you could be ruminating over something that happened and you feel like, oh my gosh, I wish I hadn't said that, or I wish I hadn't, done that. So I feel like there's something that you're ruminating over and you're losing sleep over it. And I do feel that in a way it's not that bad, okay? And I don't mean to downplay whatever it is that some of you are worried about, because in your head it's definitely this, you're making it out into this giant thing. But I feel like in reality, what you're dealing with is something a little bit more. It's just like, um, from your perspective, it feels like it might have been the end of the world. It was a little bit embarrassing or something like that. But I feel like in reality, it wasn't that bad. Okay, it's not all that it seems. So I feel like you don't need to worry about this. For others of you, the Five of Cups deals with regrets, disappointment as well. Okay, and one of the things about the Five of Cups that can be a blessing is that it's more to me about going through an emotional experience. And even though it didn't, pan out the way that you'd hope, at least you did it, at least you've experienced it, so that now you can have that experience under your belt and that you can move on. A lot of you have experienced something that I feel like brought about a little bit of sadness and regret. And you're dealing with the aftermath of this. And for the first few weeks of this month, I feel a lot of you might have gone through a period where you're ruminating over this and you're not able to, get adequate sleep because it's occupying your time, it's occupying your mind, and a lot of your, like it's a whole process about overthinking, rethinking, and ruminating over a situation. Uh, Over and over and over again, replaying it in your head to the point where you can't really, extract yourself from it so that you can do other things. So I definitely feel like there's a lot of things on your mind. It's emotional things, okay? The Five of Cups with the Nine of Swords can also signify to me dealing with a situation where you or someone you know is in a state where they are like very, very sick. So this can be physically like feeling just under the weather, or in the most extreme sense, because we do have as well the Ten of Swords here. So I definitely feel a lot of you are either dealing with somebody who is in surgery, dealing with someone who is quite ill, and you're trying to figure out how to help them through it, or you are also affected by it, okay? So it could be you going through this, or it could be somebody else that is going through this. But I feel like if it's a surgery, for example, if it deals with, long-term hospitalization or long-term care, it seems to me like it might be something a little bit more terminal, or it seems to me like it might be a little bit like painful. Okay, so if you are going through this, or your loved ones are experiencing this, I send my condolences, and I send my my best wishes for everyone to get well, because I feel like it's played out across four cards. Okay, a lot of sword energy. In the minor sense, it could be losing sleep over something that, a transgression that you feel you committed in the past. But I feel like overall, a lot of you are dealing with illnesses, or dealing with somebody who is struggling with an illness, or is in the hospital recoiling from something or recovering from something. The second cluster that came in here is the Ten of Swords as well as the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is a situation where we are like either in a state of prayer, in a state of immobilization. I feel like this is, can be just feeling very, very under the weather, and feeling really sick, okay? So for some reason, I'm getting like head flu, stomach flus. Those things come to mind. The other thing is I feel like surgeries. Okay, so some type of scheduled surgery. Maybe you have delayed it during that Mercury in retrograde period. Minor procedures, or to do some type of intensive surgery. So I definitely feel this is coming through. And not to sound so negative, but like I said, it is spanning pretty much across four cards. So I feel like some of you might have already undergone this procedure, and you're going through this month, majority of the month, especially the first 2 weeks, healing from this, okay? And then others of you, if you have been affected by, a lot of chaotic energy, like I mentioned, in your home environment, you might be looking elsewhere. You might be thinking that, oh, I'm going to need to find another place to live, because the four energies deals with foundation. So you might be thinking that, this is not a good place. It has way too much noise. There's too much light. It's too close to the street traffic. So I'm not able to get rested, and I just don't feel comfortable. So you are going to have to, pick up your things and physically move to a new location. If you are experiencing that this month, I do feel that it would be a very, very good move, and you're going to move to a place that I feel is a little bit higher up, like from the street. It's a little bit more secure if you are concerned about security issues. I'm feeling like some of you too, there might be like, going out when it concerns your immediate surrounding, okay? So whatever is going on for you guys this month, I feel like it might bring to light some issues that are affecting your home environment. Either the area is not safe, or you're not really jiving with the environment, and you're going to need another place to live. So I do feel a lot of energy like bubbling around your environment, and especially in the home front, okay? The next cluster we are dealing with here deals with the Four of Cups as well as the Three of Wands. This is a really, really interesting combination, and it is a really exciting combination, actually. The Four of Cups indicates a situation where a lot of options are on the table. Now, if you look at this person, he is pretty much eyeing the other options, and he's not really making a move, because all of these options that are coming through for him, they're great, but he's longing for this other thing that he feels is rightfully his, okay? So I feel like for a lot of you, I feel like this is in love and friendships, okay? And I don't sense so much, this is more, I don't feel like it's a financial situation, although some of you could be dealing with that. I'm not getting a major finance vibe with this. So there is a situation in your life where you have a lot of offers, you have a lot of suitors, or you have a lot of people that are communicating with you, contacting you, or, even, let's just say the Three of Wands is more like, the Wands energy represents like projects, work, and things like that. I feel like even if that were the case, you still have a lot of people vying for your attention, okay? It could be as simple as, let's just say, you're playing, I don't know, you're a volleyball player, and people are recruiting you. So you have all of these options coming through, and people are very, very sincere and serious about getting you on their side, getting you to partner up with them, either as a study buddy, a relationship person, a dating prospect, even like on a sports team is what I'm feeling for some of you. And I feel like all of these options are coming through, but you're trying to figure out, which is the best. Or maybe you're longing for this one, and while all of these things have been on the table, these offers are laid on the table for you, you're waiting for that other one. And I definitely feel the element of waiting is echoed across this card here with the Three of Wands. This is waiting for your ship to come in. And I definitely feel if something has recently ended, so for example, you were on a team and it didn't work out, I definitely feel like you're waiting for other options to come in, and you're waiting for, just more opportunities to be made available to you. So for example, for those of you who are sick, or who are, in the hospital or dealing with that, it could be, going through multiple drug trials and figuring out, what's the best option to take, or should I wait and do another regimen of testing. So there's some element here about something not working and causing possibly adverse effects. And as a result, you're going to have to switch over to a different method of doing, okay? So this can play out in all aspects of your life, but I do feel for a lot of you, it is home, it is health related, and it's relationships related as well, okay? The other cluster that is coming through here, we do have the Lovers and the Chariot. So this is, I keep getting this massive, massive home move, career move for you guys. So first of all, the Chariot, indicates a situation where, all systems go. This is a green light energy. Whatever has been stalled last month, especially in the the middle of September 2016, last month, whatever has been held up, whatever has been stalled, I do feel you're going to see like forward momentum and forward progress, okay? And it's happening in a very, very swift manner. And it's going to be like, I feel like almost catching you by surprise. Something coming out of the left field, and something, if you've been waiting on something, I definitely feel like it's going to come through in a very unexpected manner, in a very swift manner, okay? If you have been held up with something, you're being released and you're being like kind of pushed out of that gate in order to start something. For a lot of you, I feel like there is a choice to be made in this situation. Going back to the Four of Cups, this is about, a lot of options laid out on the table. And, being the earth sign, the systematic person that you are, most of you are, I feel like you're going with all of these options while you're waiting for that perfect one. And I feel like that these options are like, okay, they're meeting your expectations, probably about like, 75, 80%, but they're not like that 100% that you're looking for. But I feel like you're practical enough to know that, what, I'm just gonna go with all of these options while I wait around for that. And I feel like while you're doing that, the thing that you're waiting on is definitely coming through, okay? So you have some really good forward movement here. And while that is coming through, what it does is that it's forcing you to narrow down your options. So if this is happening to you on the romantic front, I feel like all of these cards are very, very good. Like the entire cluster, the entire spread indicates a lot of good positive energy that will be coming through for you, especially in romance. Because we have the Chariot, which is like swift, getting swept off your feet type of energy. We also have the Lovers, which indicates that, a lot of attraction that is coming through. So already I feel like a lot of you are being solicited by other people. Just your love life is really picking up, and it's picking up in a way that where you and another person, despite your differences, because the Lovers is about polarity, is the feminine and the masculine, and it's about the universe, uh, I guess like guiding them to come together and work out their differences, or work out their incompatibility, so that they can move forward as a unit to achieve some type of a goal together. So there's a lot of polarity both in these cards, okay? So the feminine, masculine, the black and the white horse, and all of it indicates that there is some sense of like, I feel like divine direction or even divine intervention allowing this situation to move forward. So whatever has been stalled in the past, I definitely feel like the time is good for now. It's like it's all a matter of divine timing where things are being pushed along, okay? So before I go any further, there's another message that I want to get out there before I go into your advice cards. So I feel like a lot of you are, for some reason, and I don't get this a lot, it's not for Capricorns. I feel like for a lot of you, this could even be business oriented, okay? Like wanting that ideal job. And I feel like there's something coming through that's going to allow you to get this job. But there's a choice here, and there might be a little bit of a further commute for some of you. So you might have several options that are local, and then you have one that you really want that is far away. And you're weighing out the pros and cons, and you're assessing a situation just to see, like, if is this viable for me to do long term? How long can I put up with the commute? And if the commute is going to be cutting in too much of my time. So there is some major decisions here coming through for this month regarding some type of commute, regarding some type of offer, for sure, offer that is on the table, and a home move, okay? So all of these three things I feel are kind of like compounding the situation. I mean, you're weighing out some serious decisions here. And no matter what, I feel like, you're gonna be okay, because it's not about choosing a choice that is subpar. It's about waiting, holding out, waiting for the best, not doubting that you deserve the best. So I feel like your head's in the right place, and I feel like on an intuitive level, you also know when something is right for you. So in spite of all these other options coming through, you're like, no, I'm not going to settle. I'm gonna wait for that perfect opportunity. And I do feel it does come through, okay? I do feel that it's gonna come through, but when it comes through, you're grappling with some major choices. Just, like having options to choose from, it's always a good thing. So I feel like you're not settling for less. You're waiting for that one thing because you know what it is. But when it comes through, I feel like it's going to be very unexpected. It's going to require a little bit of juggling and also weighing out pros and cons, okay? For others of you, I'm going to go back to this in a little bit. I feel like they're, especially for the first, first 2 weeks, let's just say, like I feel like from the 1st until around the 13th, okay? I feel from the 1st until around the 13th, there's going to be some, if you're, working, looking for work and things like that, there might be a little bit of a disappointing news as it concerns some type of communication and as it concerns some type of institution. I feel like some type of news coming through from an institution that might not be entirely positive, okay? That can be a hospital, like an institution. That can be from some type of financial institution, educational institution, or something where it's kind of like telling you, you need to work harder or you need to do things a little bit differently. And because the news comes in, I feel like you're going to realize that, you know what, I need to reassess my strategy, okay? And then for others of you, I feel like you're just like, okay, you're still waiting for the news, and then the news comes in and you're just like, okay, at least I can rule out that choice, and then you're going with the other options. So that's what I'm getting here. In terms of your advice, we do have here the Judgment card, which indicates to me some type of a brand new beginning, okay? So in this context, what I'm feeling is the Judgment card is usually some type of diagnosis, some type of drug regimen that is being incorporated into your life. You might be dealing with somebody who is having some type of a diagnosis that they are trying to, I guess, clear up. They're trying to make sense of, or they're trying to, that they're grappling with. So I feel like there is heavy energy here for institutions. Some of you might be doctors, some of you might be patients. So I feel like they're coming in all kinds of manner. But the main theme here is about diagnoses. It's about making some type of discovery here with the Judgment card, learning a lot of new information and figuring out, having that light bulb, that aha moment where you're able to incorporate knowledge into the practical world, okay? So this is a very, very good card. On top of that, the Judgment brings about new beginnings as well in love for some of you. And the second card that we have here is an offer. So this is the Knight of Cups. And this is one of the most, it's like the offer of friendship, of love. It's a card that indicates reciprocity, and it's a card that indicates there is an admirer in your midst, someone who is very smitten by you. And I definitely feel for this month, they are going to make themselves known, okay? The other option that I'm feeling here is with the Judgment and the Prince of Cups, there's definitely something related to taking medicine, convincing somebody to take medicine, or dealing with some type of a drug regimen that you're going to have to take, or you are trying to convince somebody of this, okay? So there's a lot of things here that indicates that energy for me, okay? And then we do have the Ten of Wands too. So like I mentioned before, if you have been kind of procrastinating, having too much fun, by the 13th, you're going to start to feel that crunch, okay? Like the 8th to the 13th, you're going to start to feel like, if you've been going out and, just meeting a lot of people, and you're going to start to feel that work is piling up. And then for others of you, I feel like there might be some type of, if you're waiting for work, there might be some type of news regarding work, possibly by the end of the month. And I feel like some very, very swift movement that needs to happen, possibly even a house move, and things like that coming through, where things start to really pile on, and you're going to have to make some type of swift decision about a house move, okay? So overall, a lot of changes are happening for you guys, I feel, for the first 2 weeks, and then a lot of movement happening for the second part of the month. So be prepared for it, Capricorn. I feel like everything is like after the 13th, the energy is very, very kinetic. Okay, it's very like it's very fast, it's very clear. So I feel like there's a lot of rumination, a lot of waiting on other people's decisions and things like that at the beginning. So from, the 1st until the 13th, and then towards the end, you're going to pretty much hit the ground running towards the after the 13th to the end of the month, okay? So if you are watching this ahead of time, and you are contemplating a move, thinking about a move or something like that, at least try to declutter your environment so that you're not dealing with a lot of stuff when you're moving. And yeah, I definitely feel it's gonna be a good month. First, from the 1st until the 13th, it's a little bit frustrating because I feel like you're kind of stuck and you're not really moving forward. But then after that, the momentum picks up. Okay, so let's go into the love reading for you guys and see what's going on with you. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out a spread that I can use for the love reading. And I still haven't really had time to sit down with it. But I feel that maybe in November I'll have a legitimate spread laid out, or a legitimate way to do this. So in the meantime, we're going to try this, and I hope this works. I'm not going to read reversals this time. I'm still experimenting because I rarely do just, exclusive love reading. So let me just try to just read everything in the upright position and see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like the past, present, future spread, and I'm going to overlay it twice so that you have 10 cards total. Okay, so let's go into this reading here. Let's talk about the past first, because I feel like that's going to be a lot more relevant. Let's just establish the past situation. So first of all, the energy that you are bringing to the table here is the King of Coins. This is somebody who, his or her main priority was to get his or her financial situation in order, to get his or her professional life in order, to build up financial wealth, to build up the credibility on the work front, okay? This is somebody who's very, very focused on the material things in life. And I feel like for a lot of you, currently you are in a very, very good financial situation. So you might even be like, a business owner. You might even be like a real estate broker, an agent. You have a lot of you have a lot of skills, and these skills are very translatable into, making money. So at this point, you're feeling very, very good about yourself, and you know that whatever skills that you have is definitely translatable, and you can definitely secure a very, very good job in the in the labor force. So what this indicates to me is, overall, I feel like, if for a lot of you, if you are out there dating, for example, you have a lot to offer, okay? And I feel like deep down you know this, but I feel like this is the month in which it is shown to you, in which there is a lot of people that really are, trying their hardest to really get your attention. That's what I feel like. I feel like in the past you might have like taken a detour. So you might be a late bloomer, for example. You've spent a lot of your time building up your empire, building up your wealth, building up your financial security, and you might not have, seriously dated. And this is the month in which you might try that, okay? What's coming through here is I feel like it's a really big process, like things don't just happen overnight, for the average person anyways. I feel like it took a really long time for you to get here and for you to realize, you know what, I'm a really good catch. Because we have here the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is overcoming disappointment, overcoming like a series of like bad relationships. And I feel like the relationships that you've had in the past, they were very, very uh codependent, meaning that the other person might have personality disorders, they might have addictions, they might even have like they had difficulties working with you in a unit as a relationship partner. So I feel like the other person that you were attracted to in the past was someone who's very, very different from you. You were like, the stable one or the dependable one. They might have been very, very exciting, and they might have like, very strong emotional fluctuations, for example. Like they're just like very expressive, and they might have emotional like mood swings. So I feel like you have come, especially for those who are single, you have emerged from this and you are reestablishing yourself, and you're trying to, get out there, offer your love to other people. So in the past, and this process where, you tell yourself, you know what, I'm ready. There's no more excuses. It took me a really long time to get where I am right now. I'm still, young and I'm attractive, so I'm going to put myself out there. So I definitely feel like you are out there searching for love, and you're making yourself known, you're making yourself available, okay, and that you are looking for love. So it's a really good energy, and I feel like what's coming in as a result of that is some really, really good cards. We have the Empress here, which indicates, attractiveness, which indicates like somebody who knows what they want, and they're not making themselves like they're not compromising in order to please the romantic partner, okay? What's also showing up here with the Empress is you can see those eggs on her head. So I feel for some of you Capricorn women, biological clock is ticking, and you're like, you know what, I need to find, like the one. I need to find a husband. I mean, it can be as simple as that. And I feel that because you are so directed, like you know what you want, you don't really want to bother with people who are not worthwhile. So you feel like I don't really want to lead them on, and I know they're interested in me, but I'm looking for something more. So I feel like you're in a very good position to pick and choose for this month, especially for those of you who are women, even men. I do feel an element of I want somebody on my same level, who wants the same things in life, who have the same type of a sense of direction, or even like you want somebody in the same career track. That way you have a lot more in common and you have things to talk about. So I definitely feel you being picky, but you're very well received overall by the opposite sex or by the gender that you are seeking, okay? What's linked up here with the Empress is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands, this is what I consider like the damaged soldier, okay? So as you can see, he's been through a lot. One eye is missing, and there's that tree in the middle of his stomach that indicates growth, that indicates spirituality and wisdom, okay? So for this month, I definitely feel there is somebody in your environment that is like this, okay? So I feel like you are encountering somebody who is quite spiritual, who's quite wise. They might be older than you. They might have a child. So I feel like if you're dating, they might be older and they might have a child. They've been through a lot of trauma in life. And I feel there's a lot of attraction. There's something about, people who know what they're doing and who can offer you a lot of stability, coming through for you this month. This might have been somebody you were manifesting, but I definitely feel like there's somebody coming through that is quite significant and that has been through, quite a bit in life, okay? They have a good sense of humor about it. So I definitely feel like there's some type of a spiritual union that you have with another person at this present moment. What's crowning you, the things that you are thinking about here? We have the Five of Coins as well as the Page of Coins. The Five of Coins and the Page of Coins indicate some type of a conversation exchange between you and another person when it comes to like values and material things, okay? So the Five of Coins indicates like a situation where there might be material lack, or you felt like maybe you're not worthy, okay? So I definitely feel like at this point, like I said, you're in a really good space. You're not really bogged down with concerns about financial resources. And in the past, that might have been one of the main things. You felt like you didn't have enough to offer on the material front. And I feel like this is the month in which you are taking stock at what you have. And you might even realize, I don't really have a lot of material wealth, but I have a lot of skills. I have a lot of talents. I'm a great person. I have a good sense of humor. So I feel like this is the whole point about coming into your own sense of power about, what is really important in life and what you have to offer other people. And you might realize that, the financial and material things, they don't really make the world go around. So this is kind of like that eye-opening experience where you spent so much of your time building up an empire, and now you might encounter somebody who doesn't care about any of those things, and they like you for you because their heart chakra is open, and they're older and wiser. They might not even be, necessarily biologically older, but I feel like they've been through a lot. They understand human nature, and they want like a simple love, okay? So it's somebody with a heart chakra open. That means that they're out looking for the one. And that means they don't really care about material things. They want more of a spiritual union. And I feel like that's what you're encountering, for this month. In terms of your foundation, the foundation is what's pretty much has been in the picture, what's affecting the situation, okay? We have here the Knight of Swords as well as the Four of Coins. So I feel this is the case here. The Knight of Swords indicate an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. If this is a brand new person that is coming through, this is somebody who is very, very emotionally guarded, okay? They're quite exciting because they're very, very intellectually savvy. They're just like, they're great conversationalists. They're a joy to have around, to speak to have a conversation with. They're just great. And for others of you, especially if this is not a new person, this is somebody that might be interfering with your dating life for some of you. It could be like, the ex that won't go away. It could be like another person, like a friend of the person that you're dating who's always around. So I feel some type of an interference coming in from an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. For others, I feel like this might be an ex that you're having trouble letting go of, okay? This person, I feel like, wants to penetrate your bubble, but you're just like, no, I'm not ready to, you're a little bit too aggressive. I'm not really ready to open myself up yet. So I feel like you want to take it slow and you want to reassess or assess the situation. But I feel like they're coming in, they're quite clear, and I feel like kind of aggressive about the things that they're doing, okay? So it seems as if you're dealing with this person, and if this is like, somebody that you're dating, there might be some issues when it comes to financial, like spending, where do we buy the house? Where do we, like taking... I feel like it's more, if it's a current relationship partner, this is somebody that you're having, you might have a little bit of a discussion with. I don't want to say argument, but I feel like it's a major discussion about where we are putting our money. Are we pulling our resources together? Are we like going to pick a property and purchase a house? What are we planning to do? So I definitely see some major relationship milestones is happening with this air sign. They might be aggressively, trying to push things to the next level, but I feel like you're not ready, okay? You're not ready and you're still reassessing. What I'm sensing is because your energy is like this, I feel like you're trying to take it slow. You don't want to, rush into things and then be left high and dry because you made the wrong choice. I feel like you're very, very careful. You also have several options on the table for you. So you're not in any hurry to, rush into things. The person that you're dealing with, no matter what sign they are, I feel like they're aggressive. They're a little bit aggressive. And I feel like generally they're honest and they're pretty like intellectual. So I feel like the connection that you have with them is very intellectual. It might be lacking in emotions, but I feel like it has the potential to be there. So I feel like you might have several options. You might have several options. The person that you're dealing with know what they want, and I feel like even if they're aggressive about it, the thing here is I feel like their heart chakra is open, which means they've been through a lot. They know what they want. So if you feel like, oh, this person is coming on a little bit too strong, he doesn't know anything about me, why does he or she like me so much, I feel like, well, it's because they know what they want. Okay, so you should question yourself whether or not you're ready for this, because I feel like doubting somebody's motives is not the right way to go. And I feel like that's what you're doing. And in a way, I feel like you might have gone through some major revival in your self-esteem. So that means, whatever situation that made you feel like insecure in the past, you are overcoming it, and you're coming on top for this month. And because all of this is happening at the same time, and it's kind of like you're not yet ready to pick and choose exclusively one person, okay? What's coming through, and we do have the Chariot again. The Chariot indicates forward movement, forward momentum, forward progression. This is basically a situation where you are dealing with someone who's very different from you, and you're going to have to do some type of reassessment to see how it's going to work out. If you are dealing with another earth sign, okay, if you're dealing with like another sign that is similar to you, I feel like you might have some options, earth and air signs. So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, another Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. And what I'm sensing is if you're in a committed relationship, there might be some major decisions you're making as a unit that might affect you in the long run. So that means, do we move together? Do we move in together? Do we, what do we do? Like, do we buy a property together? Do we move into the same apartment in the same city? So there's some major like recalibration or some major milestones that's being reached as a couple. And especially if you have been with another earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, there's a lot of stability in this relationship. And I feel there's a lot of love and support. So everything looks very good for those of you who are coupled. For those of you who are newly dating, I feel almost like the person that's coming in is a little bit aggressive, and you're not really sure how you feel about them. You're not at a point where you want to be exclusive just yet. And I feel like you are trying to figure out, how to... You're still balancing things. You're still juggling, I feel, several options. And you're still doing that while you're getting your career on track. So I feel like there's some type of nuanced energy here about, trying to weigh out the pros and cons, not making a decision just yet, okay? So overall, it does look very good. I'm going to pull out 3 more, let's see, 10. Let's do 3 more cards for your advice here. So we have the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Wands. Okay, 2 4s. Okay, so you have the 4 of Cups. Once again, this is, basically having a lot of options on your table. And we have the 4 of Wands, which indicates that a lot of stability is coming through. The 4 of Wands usually indicates like the happy home, happy marriage, okay? So we have the 4 of Cups, which basically means, several options are coming through. You're waiting for that perfect, sense of unity. You want harmony, you want stability, and you actually want a partner that is going to be there for you, like for the long haul. You do want a relationship. So I feel like a lot of you, even if those of you who are out and dating and you're still going through your options, deep down you do want a relationship. And I feel like somebody that you're dealing with has been through a lot, and they do want a relationship too. And I feel strong, heavy air sign energy, okay? I feel like they know what they're doing and they've been through a lot and they do want a relationship with you. So you might need to be the one to make a decision sometime for this month, okay? I hope the reading has been helpful. I think I'm going to stick with this method. So if you like a private reading, Capricorns, visit my website. The information is in the description box below. I also have a donation